and welcome to part 3 of the big MRR move. Here we go. Today I am going to work probably I got to thinking about this mountain here, how it kind of abruptly ends where the modules meet. And if I were to take and extend this mountain out to meet the new section, there would be absolutely no way I could hide that seam right there. So I think I'm gonna modify today this section a little bit. I'm probably gonna make a cut starting right around here. I'm gonna follow this line here up through here, perhaps maybe even through here, up here, and then around there. And then what I'll do is I'll rebuild this section to kind of make the mountain slope down back into here. I think that will be better. Also, what I'm planning on doing is I want to take this section right here. This used to be at the top of my cliff. If you're familiar with my layout, you saw Odd Oscar figure who was standing on top of the railing looking down over the canyon. I saved this piece, and my plan is, so I'm going to cut this piece out because I want to save that and use it somewhere else. That's my ice house. My plan is to put it right here. I'll cut this out so that it goes straight, and this will be an extension of the rail line, and the track will run along here. So first things first, I know that this section is coming out, so I'll take that out. Let me pull this section out of the layout so I can get to it and work on it a little better. I will probably take this part out to the garage because that's pretty dusty, cutting all of that. Don't want to do it inside the house. Without any further ado, let's get to work. All right, got this moved out into the garage. My old layout benches are now my workbenches, so I needed a workbench. I'm gonna mark out where I'm gonna do all my cuts. Let's see, first of all, I know this is going right here. So I'm gonna mark this here. For the sake of keeping this video shorter, I'm gonna do the rest of it in high speed and without any talking. You'll see the progress as I go. Using a board, I can see that it sits pretty level. Kind of lucked out there, so I'll have to fill it out in the middle. You can see where it's got that gap. But yeah, I knew that was going to be the case. What I might actually, I think now that I'm thinking about it, we're at the far end there. I think I'm going to have to cut it down about 1/8 of an inch because the sculpt-a-mold is going to go over the top of that, and it's going to raise it up a little more. So I'll take care of that. I am liking it. I'm thinking that it's taken on a much better shape than it was before. Before I move this back into the house, I'm going to take a wet rag to it and get all that white chalky plaster off of it. And couple of years of dust from the garage built up in some areas to get all that off of there. So I went ahead and did a little work while I was off camera. The battery in my phone was dying and it needed to be recharged, so I wanted to keep working. So basically what I did here, just took a bunch of scraps from the mountain and stuffed them in the holes to kind of rebuild this side slope here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some sculpt-a-mold and fill in the cracks to kind of hold all these pieces together. And then I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to move it into the layout room where I can work on it in finer detail. All right, so I think that'll wrap it up for part 3 of the big MRR layout move. I've got all that sculpt-a-mold in there so that'll lock those pieces into place. And so I'm going to let that dry for now, and then I'll work on the rest of it, the front of it, and filling in the rest of it with sculpt-a-mold and painting it in part 4. So I'll see you next time.